50.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. We are back here live on the Mount San Antonio College Football Radio Network. Brian Tabajay alongside Chris Sylvester here, joining you tonight from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. 14-0 the Mounties on top of the Grossmont Griffins right now with 3 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. And
You have Tolbert and Vons for your touchdowns.
on the 2nd and 3 for the Mounties, Allo, play action, and he throws nearly intercepted. Ryan Simpson somehow came down with it, still on his feet inside the 30, and he's out of bounds at the 26.
Trying to see who that player was for Grossmont, who was very close to picking off Justin Allo. It looked like to be Brandon Payne, 6-foot sophomore, Mira Mesa High School, San Diego, California.
The Mounties getting away with one that time. That was for sure a pick six if it fell into the hands of Green.
Yeah, he had all Green ahead of him. No Mounties were in sight.
On a 1st and 10 for Mount Sac at the 26. Handoff Tolbert, breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage. Gets inside the 25 down to the 23 for a pickup of 3 on 1st down.
So Coach Jab's going with Amaris Tolbert and Aaron Vons quite frequently here for Mount Sac early on in this game. We are still in the first quarter here at Hilmer Lodge Stadium. So Vons and Tolbert and Vons it goes for Mount Sac.
14-0 our score. Minute 30 left to go in the opening quarter. Play action here.
Out of Hawaii, so he's comfortable on the ground as well.
3rd down and 2 for Mount Sac. They have it at the Grossmont 19, already up 14-0, looking to add a little bit more. The snap is back. Allo, he'll keep himself. He picks up the 1st down. Allo inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's down to the 4. Justin Allo for 15 on the ground.
Just mentioning that he's very comfortable rushing, and a very nice design play led by Brandon Wilson, the other running back by committee here for the Mounties.
1st and goal now for Mount. Big upset win. Their defense, they haven't been there so far in this one.
Yeah, we'll see, if they kind of get adjusted to the Mounties running offense so far. Right now, it looks nothing but positive signs for the Mounties as this first quarter is winding down here, Chris.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter, was the run to Brandon Wilson. 14-0 our score from Mount San Antonio College after 1 quarter of action. The Mounties on top of the Grossmont Griffins. And what was your takeaway from that first quarter?
Well, Mount Sac had a game plan to take on these Grossmont Griffins, is establish a running game, run, and Coach Jabs and his team did that so far. So if they can continue to do this and dominate with the run, I don't see any problems with coming out victorious in this game. As at the end of the first quarter, it is 14-0, the Mounties lead over the Grossmont Griffins.
And for Mount San Antonio College, always a good sign coming off of the heartbreaking loss that they had a week ago against Long Beach City College. 3-point loss at the hands of the number 1 Vikings. We'll get you caught up on scores from around Southern California junior college football, as Long Beach City College, the number 1 team in Southern California, they're in action tonight on the road against Allen Hancock. You talked about this game perhaps being a trap game for Mount Sac earlier, but how about that game for Long Beach City College on the road?
Yeah, it'll be a tough matchup. I mean, Allen Hancock is Also a team that's kind of struggling this year.
Second and goal. And Allo throws incomplete, intended for Gilchrist on the near side of the field. Would have been a touchdown, but Gilchrist, who has the big size advantage on the corner that's covering him right now. Allo couldn't find him. It'll bring up third and goal.
Yeah, I was saying, Chris, it's tough to play teams like this because after such an emotional roller coaster last week, mentally teams have to just readjust all week in practice.
Well, we attended one of the Mounties practice this week, and they were very fired up and ready to go for this one. They will not take Grossmont lightly. Allo going to take a shot towards the back of the end zone. Mackin came down with it, but they will say he's out of bounds. Incomplete it goes, and the Mounties will have to send on the field goal unit.
Unfortunate there for Mackin as he held on to the ball, but part of his body was out of bounds, so it'll fall incomplete for the Mounties.
Alberto Villarreal, whose potential game-tying field goal last week against Long Beach was blocked from 47 yards out. This is a chip shot for him from 21 yards out. The holder is Christian Fulham. Snap down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Mounties extend that lead. It's now 17-0 with 14:47 left to go in the second quarter of action from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. For Mount SAC, obviously, still boatloads of time, almost 3 quarters left to go in this football game. But if you're the Mounties, at what point do you start to maybe take a look ahead to a pretty good Citrus team next week at home?
Well, their job is not to look ahead at all unless there are zeros on the clock. Quarters have been played. So the Mounties, under Coach Jabs, they know they have an assignment, and it's like a business type atmosphere for the Mounties as they're all hyped up and geared and ready to continue this lead, to build on it, and to make sure they come out on top of Grossmont tonight. And right now they're doing a really good job, up 17-0. That last 3 points courtesy of
Villarreal will kick this one back into the end zone for a touchback, and taking the knee that time for the Griffins was number 11. That was Kevin Moore, the 6'4 freshman wideout at Madison High School, and we continue with the freshman theme for this very young Grossmont group here tonight.
Yeah, it's just like our 5'8 theme for the Mounties. So many versatile key components to the Mounties, both offensively and defensively. This is the same theme for the Grossmont Griffins, starting with their freshman quarterback, Carrillo.
Carrillo, just 5'11", freshman out of Christian High School in Poway, which is down right around Grossmont. And this time, Carrillo is going down in the backfield. The Mounties in with the sack, and that was big number 50, Skylar Krall, the 6'2 sophomore out of Glendora, bringing him down in the backfield for a loss of 6 on first down.
Nice play there by Krall. He was very fast up the gut to get to Carrillo for the sack, first sack of the game for the Mounties.
Good to see the Mounties getting a team that has made up to as many as 12 sacks in a game this season. 4 wide set here for the Mounties, and the give is to the running back for Grossmont. That's Thomas McDonald, and he's taken down in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that's their leading rusher for the Grossmont Griffins, and he's been held in.
As at their own 18, trailing by 17. 17-0, the Mounties lead. 13:40 left to go here in the second quarter from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. 4 wide set here for the Griffins. 3 aligned to the near side of the field. The snap is back. Poway transfer. That is a completion out to the near side of the field, and pulling it in was Tony Johnson, a 5'11 sophomore running back at a Cathedral Catholic, but that'll still be about 8 yards short of the first down marker. And Carrillo in the offense unable to get it done again. Grossmont going to have to punt.
And good signs for Mount SAC as they continue to
game for Mount Sac where you're going to probably see the second and third stringers get an opportunity to see some action.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the case. That's what they did against Chaffee, the last home game for the Mounties. I was looking, Chris, on that punt coverage. Brandon Osborne and his teammate Kelvin Stewart kind of collided after both going over after the punter, but both of them looked to be okay. Osborne was kind of limping as he got up and just kind of trotted off the field.
Misdirection here on first down for the Mounties. Aaron Vaughn's into GROSSMONT territory, and he's finally dragged down at the 46 for a pickup of 8 on first down. Aaron Vaughn's, who had a touchdown earlier, back to work on the ground.
Back to work he goes, and he's been very effective so far in this game, and it just looks like he's a very smart runner. He utilizes his speed when he has to, finds and waits for his blocks, and then kind of runs through ever so quickly.
On a 2nd and 2, handoff Wilson up the middle, and Wilson pushed back after a gain of 1. It's going to bring up a 3rd and less than a yard situation for Mount Sac. They lead 17-0 here in the second quarter. 12 minutes left to go before halftime, and I don't know about you. As much as I'm interested on this game down in the field right now, I'm very interested to know what else is going on around junior college football. We're going to get you score updates. .45 of GROSSMONT.
Yeah, and it looked like he kind of hesitated going up the middle and tried to bounce back to the outside. And Jeffrey Branch, the linebacker, 6'2", 240, and at Virginia Beach, met him early and stopped him just short of the first down. So 3rd and less than a yard. You have to be somewhat disappointed here, Coach Jabs, where you expect your quarterback or whoever has the ball on that play to get that half yard for the first down. Was not to be here as they were stopped by the GROSSMONT defense.
And in most situations, probably in a closer game, you go for it here, and it's a fake for Mount Sac, and they're going to pick up the first down and more. The snap did not go back to the punter, Christian Fulham. Instead, for the Mounties, it went to Christopher Solomon, who's been back to return punts today. Instead, he's part of a punt fake, and the Mounties have it down at the GROSSMONT 25. Move the chains, trickery from Mount Sac here in the second quarter.
Well, there you go. You ask and you shall receive for a first down. As Coach Jabs and his coordinators drew up something nice for the Mounties. Fake punt there for a first down.
I'm sure he wanted to run that at some point or another, and in a game like this, why wouldn't you? Handoff Tolbert gets inside the 20 down to the 18, a pickup of 7 on first down for the Mounties running back.
Tolbert's just looking really comfortable in his run game tonight against the Griffins. That's bad news for them, but very positive signs.
I have a question. How in the world did GROSSMONT beat Riverside? I mean, I know the Tigers turned over the ball 8 times, but
that's the game right there. 8 turnovers. That's too many.
That's unheard of. 2nd and 3. The Mounties have it at the 18 of the Griffins. Handoff Tolbert, and the late flag flies in after Tolbert picks up 3.
And I haven't been able to see Riverside play this year.
We will. A couple weeks.
We will, absolutely, but I haven't been able to see them yet so far. So, I mean, I don't know, but you mentioned the 8 turnovers. That has to be the catalyst for.
Well, I know they just underwent a quarterback change up there, so perhaps Riverside's starting to figure it out. Riverside, a team that defeated Mount Sac last year, is a holding call against Mount Sac will negate the 3-yard run by Omaris Tolbert and back this one up to the 28-yard line. So it's going to be a 2nd and 13, and Mount Sac. Only 1 penalty against them last week against Long Beach. Still weren't able to pull out the victory, but that's a good sign moving forward.
Absolutely.
A team that was a little bit undisciplined in the first half of the season.
Absolutely. This is, I believe, their first tonight too, Chris, so good things.
2nd and 13. 2 back set for the Mounties. Back to pass Allo. He passes out to the far side of the field. Aaron Vaughn's trying to get around a couple of defenders, but he's unable to. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage.